2 o'clock, so I'll call the meeting to order. A reminder, please silence all cell phones and electronic devices. When speaking, please come to the podium. State your name, address, and speak loudly and clearly. Thank you. Item number 1 is approval of the agenda.
Move it.
Second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Passes 3-0. Item number 2, approval of the meeting minutes from April 22nd, 2025.
Move it.
Second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Item number 3, financial report, and we would call on Mr. Erickson to provide that, please.
I'm Ryan Erickson with Woodbury County, Finance Director. We were hoping to get all the journal entries in, so I did not provide the finance report for the packet, so I'd like to present this now.
Move to receive.
Second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye. 3-0. Thank you, sir. Okay. Karen needs one.
Thank you.
You need one. We're good.
All right, so the journal entries are still in process, so as of the date of this on Friday, they are not entered yet. But, so the only thing really to discuss is there was some interest revenue, and there was actually no other activity on this report.
Good. Any questions of Mr. Erickson?
No.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thanks.
Thanks, Ryan.
Item number 4, discussion and action on Star Control's proposal for new sequence and operations for VAV G223 and VAV G224. And with that, I would call on Shane Albrecht from Baker Group to give us an overview, please.
Thanks, Mr. Chairman. We have a cost of $4,000. This is for a sequence that was provided by Corey Metzger, Resource Consulting Engineers, and it's for control of makeup air unit number 1. Everybody will remember, this is a gas-fired makeup air unit that provides a makeup air unit for the kitchen. It was shown by Entroba on their documents as a hydronic unit. I did tell you when we started, it's a gas-fired makeup air unit. The control sequence was messed up, and in the process of us looking for the causes of the sewer gas in the building, we asked the question, right now, exhaust fans 6, 7, and 8 come on anytime you turn the hood on. Exhaust fan 9 comes on anytime you turn the dishwasher on. Exhaust fan 10 comes on when 6, 7, and 8 aren't running. But the control sequence that Entroba provided had no change for none of that stuff. So what was going on was, in times the kitchen was running and turning the dishwasher on, it was causing, that dishwasher has 1,000 CFM. That was making the building extremely negative. And one of the things that, because of the timing of the sewer gas smell, we thought that was a contributing factor. So Corey had looked at this and recommended a new sequence. So the new sequence needs to be put in place no matter what. I was just telling you how we found it. So this is 16 hours of programming and graphical work, and then the 4 hours of commissioning is them just to test it to make sure it does work per the sequences.
Any questions of Mr. Albrecht?
Will these be assessed back as damages?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Then I would move approval.
Second.
All in favor, aye? Passes 3-0. Item number 5 on the agenda today is information and update on the LEC project. And again, I'd ask Mr. Albrecht from Baker Group to provide that to us, please.
I think the most important thing, and everybody get ready to knock on wood, please, is 2 weeks ago on Friday, we smoked the building. We did find an exhaust vent that had been missed. We got that tied in. Kenny, would you come up as well, please? I think currently the manhole out there is still vented. I didn't make it out before this meeting to check, but I think we still have that manhole vented as well, correct?
We had it vented. I don't see any reason for it to be vented any longer, if that's your question.
Well, Corey had recommended that we keep it that way for a week, because he's still concerned because of the high point on the system that we have, that we could still get some back pressure through that manhole. But he said, let's wait a week, make sure it's good for a whole week, and then pull that vent out of there.
Yes, that's correct. I think we've not experienced the problem, so I don't think that's gonna be an issue, hopefully.
So anyway, we had done two processes. One, we had vented the manhole, because that was a recommendation of Corey, to make sure we had that manhole vented. But that was before we found the missing pipe. So Corey said, give it a week, and then we could go forward. But that is, as far as I'm concerned, very good progress and very good news. And the fact that the smell hasn't come back is another very good thing.
So is that pipe was just missed on the install?
That is
Yes.
correct.
Okay.
It's stuck out of a block wall by just this far.
Oh,
And when they had done all their investigation before, they were within 6 inches of where the pipe was. But without the smoke coming out of it, they didn't see it.
sure.
So it was up above a ceiling in the jail, in one of the holding cells. And of course, when the smoke started coming out, it was in the hallway and
Sure.
everything else. We did smoke, for everybody's knowledge, we did smoke every stack that was in basically upper C. So basically, we did every stack in the courts, county attorney's space, sheriff's office, jail administration, and the kitchen. We made sure smoke was coming out of all of those. We found one place that was missing, 2 or 3 sinks that had a little bit of smoke coming around them, and 1 toilet. All those were corrected that same day. The toilet and the sinks, the toilet just needed tightened down, and the wax ring sealed itself, and the sinks just needed tightened tighter to the wall, and again, they sealed themselves. What has been going on right now is we still have no information from Entroba on EF1 yet. Corey did have a call with, Kevin, were you on that call yesterday at 3:30?
No, Shane, I was not aware there was a phone call.
Okay. Yesterday at, excuse me for just a second. Yesterday at 3:30, Matt Eisner, who works with Corey Metzger, Mike Shea, Casey McLam, and Michael Weiland had a call yesterday at 3:30, okay? They're working,
Is that the new engineer that we've been assigned?
we're a little, I have never had confirmation. Entroba's attorney tells us the new engineer that we're assigned is Michael Weiland. Corey and Matt Eisner have been communicating with Michelle Clemens, who's our project manager, and Casey McLam. So until yesterday's call with Mike Weiland, that's the first time Corey had had any communication with Mike Weiland. Okay?
And the other engineer had been gone how long? Mark Schaefer's been gone, what, 4 weeks? 5 weeks?
April 11th, so.
Yeah, 4 weeks.
4
about,
weeks.
Yeah.
and-
So it took him a month to talk to us. That's not bad.
So right now on their hit list is EF1, AHU 1 and 2, both control and airflow issues, as well as AHU 3 issues, and the kitchen control issues that I just read through. So right now, we have 3 spaces, electrical room and IT space, 0029, 0030, and 0031. It has 1,600 CFM of exhaust out of it and cooling, but the supply into that space is 0. Everybody remember air in equals air out? So Corey's approach was, we need to blank off these exhaust fans because we're sucking air
Sure.
and not supplying anything, so we're just making things go negative in this building. So in part of trying to find the sewer gas, we unearthed the problem that Introba does not have the VAV boxes set to the right minimum. So we had more air coming out than going in, which is why our building was inherently negative all the time. And we thought that was part of the cause of the sewer gas, because when you were up on the roof, you could smell it was just hanging on that roof. And we were afraid that because the building was going so negative, it was sucking that back in. So us diving into the sewer gas unearthed the problem that we did not have the right ventilation. Corey had been waiting for Introba to respond to what to do with these 3 electrical spaces, so he could get out to us the changes to these VAV boxes to get the minimum airflows up. Just to make sure everybody understands, these changes to the VAV box aren't new VAV boxes. It is literally what Ron and I did the one night till 7:30, where you just sit and type a new minimum number on the computer, and now the box doesn't go below that. So this will help our overall building performance and our overall building. So that's just something we're waiting. We were waiting for that meeting yesterday for them to be able to finish that up. And they're gonna make a recommendation that we blank off those 3 exhaust registers and just leave the cooling in the room. Another update for everybody. For Corey's AHU 1, 2, and 3 scenario, we've got somewhere between $16,000 to $21,000 worth of parts that we need to purchase, and probably a similar $20,000 to $25,000 in labor to install these parts. These parts will be, so AHU 1 has 12 supply fans. Right now, we have no numbers provided by Introba to tell us how much air that's actually moving. They have 4 return fans that have the ability to supply 23,000 CFM. We have no monitoring station that tells us how much air is coming back. So it's really tough to get our building balanced and get the building the right thing without knowing what these numbers are. So these are Abtron flow monitoring stations that we put into these units, so they will provide us with these air numbers that Corey needs to be able to balance this thing, so that Kenny can have a building that's controllable and that he knows where everything is. So talking with Kenny before and talking with Corey, I recommend that we at least start with AHU 2, try to implement this airflow station on it, get a good handle on what that does, what that looks like, and how our building out functions. And then after that, move forward to adding them to air handlers 1 and 3. And that's just kind of where Kenny and I were talking this morning. So if you have any questions, I would gladly bring Kenny up for that. If not, that's my update on that. Kevin?
Yes, sir.
I have not got a chance to look at the new roof warranty. Has your office, is it still in the review process, or where are you at with that?
No, I think that was sent back a week and a half, almost 2 weeks ago, Shane.
Okay.
Just those questions that we had. I think we'd indicated to revise some of the dates that it went into effect and the date that it was actually signed off on. So other than that, I think the warranty was all to be in place. So
What I was referring to, Kevin, maybe I just missed it. On Monday, I got a notification that somebody had uploaded a new warranty, so I thought there was a new one uploaded on Monday, so that's where I was at.
I think that was just Hausman distributing that and closing that document out.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Thank you.
Yep.
So we're still in the almost done process there. One thing I wanted to share with everybody, because as your auditor and as your financial director, is that how you're classified, Ryan? Financial advisor? Finance budget director. Have they been diligently working through all of the John Templer questions, as well as helping very much in this reclassification. One thing that's not come before you guys because we decided to wait until all the reclass was done so we could make this simpler. Baker Group's bill for the month of March, when you add the two, we're billing every 2 weeks. Baker Group's bill for the month of March was $24,774.85. For the month of April, it was $24,381.90. For the month of April, in one of those 2 week spans, for both of you to know, that was the week we were dealing with the sewer gas, and our bill was close to $15,000 for those 2 weeks from the time, but the other bill was $10,000 to keep us still around that same path. March, because of how it falls out, it's billed for 4 weeks, but there's still 2 days left in March. And April, when it gets done based on just the days, there's still 3 days left in the month of April that will be taken up in the May bill. Okay? Kevin, do you have anything else to update us on?
No, I don't think there's anything new on that unless we've heard anything on the seating for the site.
But I should go ahead and tell everybody where that is. So Kenny went out and got pricing for seating, and that pricing was $78,000. And that was for the company that Kenny found out of Omaha to come in and seat it per the specifications. We'll be talking about that tomorrow with Hausman, but I saw today an email from Caleb that says ASPM, which is their original contractor, wants to come out and fly a drone that provides fertilizer out this drone. So they're wanting to do that tomorrow, right? So they're, one of the things that we said they didn't do was fertilize, so they're now wanting to bring this guy tomorrow and fly this drone around and fertilize the site, correct?
That's what the email said. I have not responded to that email yet. Did
And we
not
just
want to
received it like an
respond.
hour ago, right?
Didn't respond until we talk about this, so we can have a joint reply.
Is that grass get watered out there?
No,
Because fertilizer
It's
right
never
now will do
been
nothing
watered.
with the forecast.
So
It's just
it's-
gonna sit out there and dissipate.
as far as I know, it's never been watered since they've seeded it. It's never been fertilized, and it's never been properly, was not initially properly mowed either.
Nor has they provided the herbicide and the spec mark that's there, or any of that stuff.
Right, putting fertilizer out now would just be flushing money down the drain. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
In
Yeah,
my
I mean,
opinion,
they'd have to water it.
In my opinion, we'd be fertilizing weeds and some grass.
My other opinion is, Kenny's contractor, said there's 3 acres of black dirt that's missing. Putting fertilizer out there doesn't fix the fact there's 3 acres of black dirt missing.
Yeah, because you'll just have a thin stand for years if it's ever right. Did they drill seed that originally, or was that hydro seeded? What did they
It was
do?
never hydro-seeded.
Why wouldn't they hydro seed? I mean
Good question.
I mean,
I think they did hydro seed the hills out there at one point. Sorry to interrupt.
okay.
Sure.
But that's all. That was the limit of the hydro seeding. It was just on those hills to get it to stick in place, to keep
Sure.
that dirt in place.
If they hydro-seeded, Kevin, I don't remember them hydro-seeding very much at all. I'm just.
No, I think it was just those steep hills on that east side and on that north side, if I remember correctly, Shane.
Gotcha. Anyway, Mark, the rest of the time they ran a drill. When we were out there, the one I witnessed them seeding, they were seeding with the drill. And that's what they did.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Kev.
I was gonna say, to Mark's point, they were waiting to see if grass seed had germinated this spring, which obviously hasn't. And if they haven't reseeded, what exactly would we be fertilizing other than the little stand of grass and the weeds that are out there? Again, and maybe this is a topic we could discuss more in detail outside of the meeting, but obviously there's some corrective work that needs to be done there to get this done
Yeah.
properly.
I agree, Kevin. I think that's what I meant when I said I have not responded to the email until we discuss it.
Yeah,
Yep.
We have an open items call tomorrow at 10. My biggest question is, I feel it's worthless what they're trying to do, but is it means and methods where we can't tell them other when we can tell them if it doesn't work, you're gonna spend $78,000 and we move on.
Yeah, I mean, since this project started, there hasn't been ideal conditions for growing grass. There's been very narrow windows to get stuff going, so they've, just from the time I've been here, they really haven't done anything. I know a lot of this predates me, but I feel like they've, with the forecast that we have and the conditions we've had, they've already missed this window for this year, unless they want to artificially water it, which I don't know who's gonna do that. And so I don't know. It's not been easy, but the few
It's-
windows that they've had, they've missed.
It's listed in the specs that they're supposed to artificially water it till the grass
Okay.
gets to be a certain height.
So I don't disagree with what you said, Mark, but I do have some comments that surround that. And my first comment would be Mid-American Energy was seeding at approximately the same time or shortly after that we did. So they had the same weather conditions that we were under. Their contractor was out there every day up until into December watering. Every day, all day long. So their contractor kept performing, in my opinion,
Yep.
where ours didn't.
For sure. All right.
Kevin, I have nothing else for an update.
Shane,
Yeah,
on,
I'm good.
on these flow monitoring stations that we're gonna put in, does Entroba just not know how much flow is in the building that they designed, or are they just not getting us the information timely?
All right, so these flow monitoring stations, the air handler only has one of them. So if we just look at math and you need to know three different variables to find out your end answer, the actual unit that Entroba has there and what they design has one number. We'll just call it A. You still need B, which is the number provided by the supply going out. And you still need C, which is the number coming back. Biggest problem with air handler one is the overall CFM that unit can supply at 100% is 31,000 CFM. The connected load that Entroba has on that unit is 15,500. So imagine if you needed 2 tons of cooling in your house and somebody just put in 4 just because they're helping you, Mark. The unit is running at so low of speeds that we're losing, and Kenny can tell you this, we're losing return fans because the return fans are sized for 23,000 CFM. So if this unit would have been smaller and could have ran, we probably wouldn't have to have maybe all these numbers. We probably could have made it work with their sequence. Corey is recommending and has talked to Entroba about this, doing it for ASHRAE's Guideline 36 standards. And for ASHRAE 36 Guideline standards, you need to know concrete numbers for A, B, and C. And that's what these Eptron flow monitoring stations will do, is they will tell you the supply, the return, and outside air that's coming in. So then STAR can control it from there. Right now, in each of these units, we're talking about shutting the return fans down so that maybe 1 of 4 is running, and maybe 2 sometimes, but never all 4. And Kenny will tell you these fans right now are failing on a weekly basis on low power to them. So they get down, they're EMC motors and they can turn down so far that the CTs that monitor the fact that they're running think the thing's not running because it's so low of current draw.
Yep.
So this is gonna fix it so, one, we don't lose return fans, because we'll just shut 2 of them off. Good news for Kenny is 10 years from now, when 2 of the fans fail, you can just turn the other 2 on while you wait to get the replacements in for the first ones. You can do that in your 70s, right?
Silver lining, right?
All right, any
Did
other
that answer your
questions?
question,
of-
Mark?
Any other
Hey, Shane, I had a question for you. How's the security fencing gate work? Is that coming along this week, or where are we at on that?
I'm gonna call Kenny Schmitz back up to the thing. I happened to have been in his office yesterday. I think Willie Garrett called him yesterday, And I think Cardis was finishing that today.
They were supposed to either finish it last night and/or this morning, and I haven't received any updates from them yet to see where they were at, but it may very well be done.
Okay,
It's-
thank you.
It's very close to either done or very close to in the process, Jody.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, any other questions of Shane Albrecht or Kevin?
No.
All right, we'll move on to item number 6 on the agenda, public concerns. Seeing or hearing none, we'll move on to item number 7, which is authority board member concerns.
Nothing for open session, maybe closed session.
Okay, very good. All right. We'll move on to item number 8, which is closed session with Frederickson Byron Law Firm under Iowa Code Chapter 21.51C. I move that we do that.
Second?
Roll call vote, please. Aye.
Aye?
We're in closed session.
Mr. Erickson, sir?